Hit the mics, take a seat, it's about to ignite. Two dudes with the spread, keep your bets locked tight. Sports talk sharp like a razor blade edge. Numbers don't lie, no need for a hedge. Welcome to the greatest fucking show on earth. From the pitch to the court where legends birth. Plays and parlays, every wager's worth. Sit back, tune in, ride the wave of mirth. Game clock's ticking, we predicting the heat. Fast.
Hello, welcome to Guys One Spread podcast episode 4 Alexei Zhitnik episode. Oh boy,
Right.
yeah.
I'm fine.
Oh, the one and the only Alexei Zhitnik. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Not known for hitting the net.
No, not at all. All right. Obviously, we're one day in front of the Super Bowl, so that's going to dominate our talk. I'll start out by saying this. It would be awesome if there was a way that they could do like a week and a half of Super Bowl stuff. Like 2 weeks is too much.
A lot.
It's a lot. I mean, even
It's always been a talk too about like, could we move it to a Saturday? Why put it on a Sunday? Everybody's obviously got parties for a Super Bowl. Everybody wants to do everything. But I agree. 2 weeks is too much. Now I haven't paid too much attention to the talk as much as you because I can't deal with Patriot stuff.
Yeah.
But 2 weeks in general is too much. There's just only so much you can say.
Yeah.
Maybe the Pro Bowl got you through it. Maybe did that help you get through the 2 weeks?
No, I watched like 2 plays and I'm like, it was almost. It's so bad. I cannot believe that NFL does so much right, and that is
Right.
just. Well, I don't know what the ratings for that thing is. More than half the players don't even want to go. I know you
Right.
had some names. They're probably going for the trip, and you're around all the guys or whatever. It's bad. It's horrible. It didn't get me through. The NFL, the idea of moving it to a Saturday is brilliant, right? I mean, everybody's watching. People want to party and hang out, and it's not an all day thing, but it's definitely later.
Right.
I've always said that they should have Monday off. Should be like a holiday, but I like it on
nice.
I like it better on a Saturday, to be honest. I love that idea.
No, it would be beautiful on a Saturday. Imagine today, you don't have to worry about it. You can drink and just not have any concerns.
Yeah, the next day you could,
work.
They got to get that right. But I mean, even like the talk show guys are like, I don't know how many times I could say Sam Darnold, or I could compare the defense to the offense. You can only do it so much.
Right. Hey, let's talk about Sam Darnold. The guy's had a good playoff run. I know everybody was he got crushed. He basically got the GM from the Vikings fired.
Yeah.
So he doesn't know that, he didn't mean to do it, but he did it. He's played. He had a great playoffs, I thought. I mean, I think it's going to stick with him. And I don't know. I don't think it should stick with him ever again. That he can't win big games. He showed up in that LA game and
he won the LA game. He won the LA game.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he had like 11 incompletions, and I think 5 of them were throwaways. I mean, and they scored. Honestly, even if Seattle wins and he's okay to good, even if let's say he has 200 yards and a touchdown, there's something that tells me it's still not going to go away. I don't think people, the common guy thinks you need to throw for 350 yards all the time to be big game, whatever, right?
But you don't need to do that with the Seahawks. You need to not turn the ball over. Now, he was doing that early in the season, and he had a couple of games where he was bad. Even that second season LA game in the regular season, he was bad for 3 quarters.
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
But since then, through the playoffs, I've been impressed. I mean, that defense is nasty. They're going to keep you in games no matter what you do. But he just needs to be good, and he's got talent around him. He's got the offensive player of the year on his team.
Yeah.
He's got this is my opinion. I think they're actually better at the running game with Charbonnet going down. I like Walker. I think he provides more of a passing, rushing game. I just think he's more explosive. I know they wanted to split the time with him, and Charbonnet's a very good. I know he's your third down, fourth down guy, short yardage.
But I mean,
But
how much of that is, and I don't disagree. How much of that is the NFL season's just super long? So
right,
like
I agree.
even if and Charbonnet is very good, but if you're going with a 2 to 3 game stretch, I would like Walker to get more carries than he normally does with Charbonnet in there myself.
Right.
I think
It's
part
a
of
more
it,
explosive player.
yeah, and the
It gives
season's
you
just
the
super
passing
long,
game.
right?
Yeah, it's a long season. I get it. And Charbonnet, they're a great one too. Walker more explosive, but Charbonnet obviously has a great role. And even with I don't know his name, but I know he had a good amount of touches in the last game. The guy replaced him.
Yeah,
Uh,
Halani.
yeah,
I mean, he just
he
came
had a
back.
couple
That
of good
was
touches. Yeah.
his first game back, but
But yeah, I'm a big Walker guy. I just think he's an explosive player. So I just think he
makes
helps out
guys
the
miss.
offense.
He makes
Yeah.
guys miss, and he's got deceiving speed. Like I remember when they first got him, they talked about his speed, and like there's a call like even when he pulls away for long runs, I'm like he doesn't look like he's flying to me, but people don't catch him. So I mean,
Right.
he's obviously going quick. It's just kind of deceiving, maybe because he is a little more powerful than I think he gets some credit for. So
Yeah. Um, I look at this line at 4.5. I just don't. I don't know. I don't know. I
I think
don't think.
I think we feel the same.
I just don't think that this game should be that close. I don't hate the under. I think actually, see, I think the New England defense is decent, and I think they can. And I honestly think that May's not had a great playoffs, and I think he's going to struggle against the Seahawks defense. I'm interested to see what the team total is for the Patriots. But do you have any points on this line? Do you care about it? I know you're not betting it or anything, probably, but 4.5. I just feel like this game should be a 10-point game.
So
Um,
the last decade, the largest spread there's been is 5, and then there's been a 4.5. What that means, maybe I don't know. I listen, and I'm not being Homer guy because I mean I picked Seattle to lose versus the Rams,
Yeah.
right? And I've
right.
said the whole time I didn't want to play them. I and sometimes it's things can be deceptive, right? Like the Patriots defense has been really good, especially this last stretch.
Right.
But I mean, you're playing really. I mean, Denver with the backup quarterback in a snowstorm is deceiving. It's deceiving
Right.
and
The Steelers are not a good offense.
awful.
No matter
and
what.
Houston, C.J. Stroud looked as
Oh, yeah,
bad as he ever
they
has,
played Denver.
and you don't have Nico Collins.
Right.
And they turned the ball over, I think, 5 times, right?
5 times. Yeah.
So, like, yeah, sure, part of that is definitely the defense, but it's not. I don't know. I'm curious to see New England's defense for sure. I'm not so sold on them as being as good as maybe they've looked the last little bit. I don't think they're awful, right?
Right.
But I guess we'll just have to see. I think Seattle's super well balanced. I think JSN is maybe one of the tougher guys to try and eliminate from a game plan.
Yeah, like scheme against because
He
put
comes
them
out of the
everywhere.
backfield. He lines up in the slot. He lines up outside. He catches short passes, intermediate passes, deep passes.
Right.
They're talking about Gonzalez blanketing him, which he
That's
doesn't.
impossible. Yeah, the way they run him, it's impossible for him to do that.
Yeah, and I wonder if it's one of those things because Gonzalez doesn't always do that. I'm wondering if they do try to do that, how much is that? I mean, how much can you just change your defense like that in
Right.
a 2 week thing, right? Like
Right.
where, where's Gonzalez lining up if when he lines up in the backfield, right? And I'm not a huge X and O football guy. I think he's a tough guy to completely eliminate. Um,
Yeah.
and I think honestly, this week I've heard a little bit. And again, you 2 weeks, you got to make talk, right? So you got to talk about things. I feel like Cooper Cup and Shaheed have gotten a little bit shortchanged. Now I've said this on here before. I think Seattle was almost sandbagging with Shaheed a little bit in the regular season because
Yeah.
they barely were using him, and then they finally busted out the first. That's a real first long pass that I remember them even really trying with him. And they caught the Rams. So I don't know. We'll see.
He's gonna get one if
good.
they're gonna do all this, and somebody's gonna be 1-on-1, and it's gonna be Shaheed. Probably both those guys are gonna get a lot of 1-on-1s all day. So somebody's gonna have to make some plays, and Shaheed's got the speed to beat you deep. Obviously, it's a good matchup because Cup is more the underneath guy, possession guy. Get the first down guy. So yeah. And then it just seems like Seattle's got a lot of role receivers and tight ends that catch balls. And
They do, and they have not used them much recently. Barner went through a stretch where he was getting a lot of balls, and he's been a little quiet in the playoffs. New England is not good versus tight ends, and
Yeah.
I was wondering if let's say their secondary does step up and is better than I kind of expect them to be a little bit, then
Right.
maybe if they got some plays dialed in for AJ Barner.
All right. Well, here's the question: how does Seattle lose this game? I mean, I don't want to talk anything. I mean, I'll talk. I'll talk on the Patriots. May the one bet I did make on the Super Bowl. Like I have over rushes on May. I think his legs. It's one way for them to keep drives alive. I just don't know. I think Diggs had a good year. I listened. The guy had a good year. He didn't have a great year, and I thought he slowed down towards the end. They don't have a. I don't think they have a receiver on that team that really scares anybody. I don't think so. I mean, Booty is a fine receiver. Diggs is a fine receiver, but he's up and he's up there.
Neither of those guys can smell Nakua or Adams' jockstrap.
Right.
At their
No,
own
you're
best
right.
career, right?
Yeah. Well,
That's
you just
the-
played those two, and then now you're playing this group of receivers.
There's
You're not
three-
scared of these guys.
3 games that I've really, actually 4 games this year that I really remember Seattle's defense kind of getting picked apart a little bit. 3 of them were versus the Rams.
Right.
3 of
Right.
the 4. And then Tampa earlier in the year, Seattle's secondary was really banged up and missing guys, and we were missing guys up front, but they were able to get deep a little bit. I mean, Seattle lost 3 games this year by, I think it's a total of 8 points or something.
Right.
I mean, I really struggle to see New England putting together any sort of real drives that are over 8 to 10 plays. I really do.
Right. No,
I
I agree with you. I'm trying to figure out a way, how New England wins this game.
Well, pick-
Easy ways to say turnovers, and Darnold doesn't
turnovers
play well.
is easy, right?
Yeah.
Kick return obviously can always flip something. Now,
Right.
Seattle's special teams is very, very good, but it can happen.
Right.
Something like that certainly keeps you in. Say New England defense does a better job than
I do think New England's defense is slightly better than a lot of people think. I do actually think they're pretty good. I don't think they had a tough run in the playoffs, but I think when they're healthy, their D line's pretty solid. Not a great pass rush team, but good against the run, and their linebackers are decent, and they got Gonzalez. So I don't know. I think they can keep it close.
some of
I
it's how
do.
much you want to dig into it too, right?
Right.
Like yesterday I heard, and again, this is when you start getting deep X's and O's. New England's defense was third worst in the NFL against zone running schemes,
Right.
which Seattle does do a fair amount of, and Walker was top 2 or 3 in zone running plays, 5 yards
Right.
a carry, right? So they're, have they been stout versus the run? Sure, but there's type of running
Yeah.
schemes and
Type of
type of
schemes that
running
beat you.
back. So yeah, I to your question, I think those fluky things, and I'll say kind of special teams and like a tip pick six or something.
Sure.
The one thing, and I'm not sure if they have the weapons to get deep passes, maybe
Yeah.
Cooley, and I know May's decent down the field, but I do think Henderson, if he can rip off a long 50, 60-yard touchdown run, or
Right.
maybe 2 40, 50-yard plays, then again, you don't have to put together a 12-play drive,
Right.
right? You get the ball at the 30, you rip off a 45-yard run, now you need 5, 6 plays to get in or something. So
Right.
I don't know. I almost don't like that I'm so confident, but that's the way I
Right.
was. That's the way I was before the San Francisco game, right?
Yeah.
Before the San Fran playoff game, I was like, I just watched this 2 weeks ago. I don't know how much is changing, and I've watched Seattle almost every single game. Their defense is really strong all over, and they've played they've played the top team, so that's been proven. And we'll see. It's scary, and then you hear the line, and everybody's on Seattle.
Yeah.
And, like you have 70% of the money and all that, and then that makes you nervous. But I also know that there was, when the Patriots were 60-1 to get to the Super Bowl or win the Super Bowl, Vegas took a lot of money on that too. I heard the one guy talking I know Seattle's got, if Seattle's got more of the money right now, but there's some bets if Vegas wins or if Pats win the Super Bowl, people had them at 60-1 or something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's I think it's going to be one of these games where I think it might 3/4 close game. I think the Seattle will be up and then just kind of pull away. I do think the defense of New England will keep them in the game for a little while. I'm not sure about May. I know he was second in MVP. I don't think he had a great playoffs. He's fumbled 6 times. He had his own turnover issues.
his numbers versus playoff teams or winning teams, maybe winning records this year were awful. In 5 games, he had 6 touchdowns.
Yeah. I think May's numbers are I like him as a quarterback, and I've seen him do great things, but I also seen him just not play great. And I watched him against the Baltimore game that they won, that he was really bad for majority of the game, and I've just seen him in the playoffs. I've not been impressed. So yeah, I again, you're right. If Henderson can, pop a couple, and they can do this and that, I don't see him just dunking down the field. Seattle's defense is too fast and too good for that stuff. So,
I mean, if in any, this goes for any game, right? Any team. If one D lineman can dominate, right? Now our offensive line's been playing really, really well. It's not a top in the league. So, if Milton Williams gets free and can really cause some havoc, then anything could happen. And that's why you play these games, right? That's why you play them. But, I don't think, Super Bowl week's not as interesting if everybody's just, saying it's going to be a blowout. So
yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, you got to have people talking both ways. And
yeah.
This and that. So
I'll be super surprised if Seattle doesn't win the Super Bowl. I really will be. And I mean, listen, you give credit where credit's due if it happens, but I'm not sure. I know they've been able to skirt these top defenses, and I keep hearing about that. But I mean, it's not like they're putting up 40 points. I mean,
Right.
you get 5 turnovers.
You had
mean,
5 turnovers, and the
win
next game
games.
you played a quarterback that was really bad, gave you a touchdown. They gave Denver gave that touchdown away.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they barely won. So, yeah, I'm with you. I struggled to find a way for New England in this game. So, and I'm rooting for the Seahawks. So, I don't know
Well,
what else to say.
there's a lot of Seahawks fans.
Yeah,
Obviously,
everybody's got
because
that.
Nobody wants.
Everybody's looking deep in their closet for their lime green
Yeah, what do I have? They're
clothes.
like,
What do I have?
geez, is that a color? I don't
That's
have
right.
anything like right there.
I know. Well, you got any other takes on this game?
I mean, it'll be, they keep talking about, all the legacy and the quarterback stuff.
Right.
I think
I know a lot of Bills fans, and I'm not one of them. You know, well, yeah, Darnold's going to get one before Allen and this and
Yeah.
that, and I'm like, listen, the Seattle team it's an amazing team,
yeah.
and Darnold's done a great job on this team. And listen, what am I want Josh Allen to win. I don't want any other team to win besides the Bills. And if the Bills don't do it, then I'm not. Besides, I really hate the Patriots, but I'm not rooting against the guy because he was drafted in Allen's class.
Yeah.
And he's going to get one first, and this and that. Listen, the guy's been on a crazy journey. You got to give him credit more than anything to go from the Jets where he was on camera saying I'm seeing ghosts
That's awesome.
to jumping to Carolina and San Francisco and then to Minnesota, finally getting a real shot and making it work, and he was deserving of the chance in Seattle, and he's done everything he can to get him to a Super Bowl. He's played great. So
Yeah, and
I'm not that guy, but there's a lot of Buffalonians that are like that. They're not happy about it. But in this game, what are you gonna do? You gonna root for the Patriots? No.
Yeah,
So you root for
that's-
Darnold and the Seahawks. And that's the thing in this game. That's the only thing. One thing I've heard a lot of people talk about is how Darnold's going to get one before Allen. Well, a lot of people have got one before Allen, and there's probably going to be more.
But the biggest reason he's potentially going to get one in either of these quarterbacks, if they get one, is because of the team, and that's where I've been so critical of Bean. Right. Darnold, I got my buddy Nick. We go back and forth all the time, and I'm like, Darnold has, when they've called upon him to do some good stuff and big stuff, he's done it. Right. They had 3 games this regular season, at least 3. And I know they had turnovers in some of these, but it was like at halftime they were almost like, well, what the hell do we do? We're winning 30-3 right now. You know what I mean? And like those are tough games to play when you're not, I don't want to say you're not playing 100%, but you're pretty comfortable in where you're at and you're not running your normal regular offense out there. So like, if he gets it, that's the reason. The reason is it's been a great team. They have great special teams. They have great defense. They have really solid wide receivers and one who's a stud. And they got a really strong running back. And I think they got, to be honest, I think it's above average tight ends. So, it's easier. He doesn't have to put on the cape.
Right. Okay, yeah, we always have to live with it because we don't have all that other stuff. But I will say they have all the faith in the world in them. I loved how they ended that game in LA. They did not just go running back left, running back right, running back left. All right, if we didn't get it, we're punting. They go, listen, we're going to throw. They're not going to expect it. And I'm sure they're like, if it's not there, just eat it. It's not a big deal. But they had faith in them to make the right decision. And they did it 2 or 3 times in the final drive where they threw the ball.
It wasn't even one time. It was 2 to 3 or 4 plays, 2 or 3 different sets of chains moving that they did it, right? And you got them completely on their feet, their heels, because everyone's expecting run.
Yes. So I was like, they have all the confidence in the world in this guy. These aren't. This is not a play calling where you're like, man, I'm nervous here that he's going to make a mistake. These are plays that you're like, listen, we're confident in the guy. He's going to make the right decision, and this is it was the end of the game. He closed it out, and that's we've all seen the game too many times. You just run the ball 3 times, you punt it back, and anything can happen. So I was very impressed with him at the end of the game. So,
and I think I think they did more of that in the playoffs than they did in the regular season. I actually feel, now again, maybe it's by design, right? We're not in that coaching room, so we don't know. After that first Rams game, there was about a 6 to 8 game stretch where I almost felt like they were protecting him a little bit, like you were talking.
yeah,
But those last couple games, they really, really weren't. Now, again, is that design? He has demonstrated a much greater willingness to not just throw the ball away, but to take a sack, right? And the sack thing is always tough because guys get killed for taking too many sacks.
I know.
But if you force a ball and get a pick, that is way worse than taking a sack, right?
Right.
It's way worse than taking a 4 or 5 yard sack when you're trying to force something. So, like, sometimes taking a sack in certain situations is a sign of maturity, and it's a good thing.
yeah,
And
right.
I think
I agree.
he's kind of demonstrated that. But guys get killed for being, you get sacked too much, and it's like, all right, well, you start ripping the ball, even if you're trying to throw it away and you're not off balance, right? Like,
Right.
try throwing the ball away when a 330-pound dude
Right.
who's fast is chasing you, and you're throwing off balance to get it out of bounds. Like, it's rough. So he has demonstrated that he's been better with it. And I think that's a really, really big part of maturing as a quarterback, right? I'll say this: I've been recording them all and sending them to my buddy Nick all week long. I'm seeing more and more people give him praise for his talent and all of that stuff. Even his old teammates, McCaffrey,
Right.
played with him in 2 different spots and was like, dude, this guy is crazy talented and crazy good. So again, I think a lot of that comes back to some of these guys don't get an opportunity to grow up.
No.
They don't.
No, I
get a
agree with
fair
that.
shake. They
It's too
don't
fast.
get a fair shake.
I agree. I agree with you.
And
It's
I'm
too often
thinking-
that we see these top 10 pick quarterbacks. They get 2 seasons, and you're like, oh, he's not good. He's terrible, this and that. And then you just never see him again.
Yeah.
And, I think this is good. I think Baker and Darnold are good for the league, showing that, listen, don't give up on these guys so fast. Maybe they need to sit, maybe a year on the bench or a year or 2, or get them in the right situation. They have to go to the right situation for them. Sit behind a great coach like Shanahan. Just sit behind him and just learn and understand things. Maybe that coach, he's one of the greatest coaches ever. And just get in his head and learn stuff. Go to Minnesota, then you get your shot. And then put all that stuff you've learned throughout this 4 or 5 years in the league, and you finally maybe will put it together. So I agree with you. I think it's going to be something maybe we see a little bit more in the future, teams taking these chances on these guys who've been, high draft picks, get 2 years, and then they're done, and you're like, well, we got to draft another guy. And
It's super. I know it's tough to do. I remember saying in the beginning of the year that if I was a Giants fan, I didn't really want to see Jackson Dart. Now again, he came in and he looked good. He also took a beating, right? He took a pounding.
Took a beating.
And coach got fired, turnover there, so that might slow down your progress a little bit too. But in order to do that, I think you need. This is where I think ownership and coaches need to be on the same page. And, like I wanted Dable to come out in the beginning of the year and almost because of ownership is making you do it and be like, listen, he's not playing this year, right?
Yeah.
We drafted him knowing that we want to get him experience in the organization, experience as a professional, and that you don't have the pressure of doing interviews and having to. I don't want to say you're not studying game plan, but you don't have to execute it. You can just study it, and then you can watch where maybe parts worked and parts didn't, and
Right.
I don't know. I would like to see more of it, but the NFL, there's just
It's not going to happen. The reason it won't happen, I mean, and then you got the other people say the best way to learn is on the job. But the reason it won't happen is the salary cap. It's you get a guy like May who's in the second year now, comes out and he looks great. Third year, you could see it this year. You could spend all that money on defensive players, all types of players, because you have all this money, we're not paying it for a quarterback. So they want to find out right away if they got anything, because if they do, they're going to go out and get the free agents and spend all the money there. And if they don't, then they got to start over again. They don't want to put the money into the rest of the team. It's just the way it is.
I know, but I think part of the problem is what you're seeing in the first 2 to 3 years of somebody is just the tip, just the tip of what they're capable of, and now you're forced to make that decision. This is how we got into Tua. This is how we got into Jordan Love's huge contract. I don't think Jordan Love is.
Nah, Jordan Love's not that good either.
Stud. You got Trevor Lawrence, right? Trevor Lawrence. Oh, the coaching. Look what they did. He got against a decent team, and he instant playoffs in the Bills, and it instantly looked okay. And I think that's how you get into that, is when you do that. I would almost rather get the year, or I mean, 2's a long time, but at least a year where at least when he's coming in, I feel like he's more prepared to show me what the actual product is. When you have to,
a great example of this is Mahomes. Mahomes sat a whole year.
Mm-hmm.
I think he played like the last game of the year or something like that. He sat the entire, and people I don't even think about that, but he sat the entire year.
Yeah.
Turned out pretty good for him. I think you're right. I think sitting these guys, you're right. It's not just playing. It is the entirety of it all. After a game, media, during the week,
diet,
talking to this, all this stuff. They haven't played. A lot of these rookie quarterbacks, they haven't played in this many games. Not even close. And I don't want to hear. They played UB. Those aren't games. That's not a game. It's not a game.
Yeah.
It's not a game. These they play half their games against high school teams.
Yeah.
They're not even in the same league. They're just stat builders. They're not games. So they play 4 meaningful games a year. That's it. So they're not used to every game going in and out. So I agree with you. Just learning the grind of it all, and everything that comes with being a starting quarterback.
There's so many pieces, and we can get into it. We talked to our buddy about the Sabres and the youth, right? And I'm just like, whether it be the grind, the weight room, the media, the travel, the diet, the nightlife, the pressure, the attention, radio interview, there's so many components to being a professional versus the college life, and they're just to soak it all in, right? It's just it's crazy, and I think it's so overwhelming, and it's got to be even triple that if you're in New York, right?
Yeah.
If you're in LA, if you're in Chicago, Buffalo, you got it's a little bit easier, but again, it's lifestyle. I just heard, I can't remember which Bill guy was it. Maybe it might have been Poyer, and it almost sounded like he was taking the typical digs on Buffalo, right?
Yeah.
He's talking about how much he loves it and all of that, but he's like, there's not a lot to do, and he's like, I can't. The way they love the team, I can't go to the grocery store, right? You know what I mean? And you go to some of these bigger cities where it's craziness, like maybe one of those, you're a lineman, and you can obviously tell. You see a 6'4" 330-pound guy. You're
Yeah,
like,
but still, you're like, I think I
he
maybe
might be a
texted, but you don't
football
even
player,
know.
right?
Yeah.
But he was just talking about how that's different, and there's just so many aspects to it. And I really, again, I try not to feel bad for professional athletes because they make so much money, but it is a bit unfair, I think, to some of these guys that just get kind of thrown in there. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Um, so
Listen, for every eBay, there's 10 that just don't make it. And you got like for every, like, and an example of, it's like just the Stroud is the one that always is confusing me. Like that guy came out that first year, he was awesome.
he had me
Awesome.
fooled.
And he's been terrible the last years. And I kept reading everywhere about the Patriots game. That they're like Houston would have won that game with 31 other starting quarterbacks in that league. He was that bad.
Yeah.
And like again, it's like you just got to give these guys, maybe you got to give them time to see if like you're just not a flash in the pan.
Yeah.
Also, it's tough. It's tough for these. It's tough for these GMs once they think they have a quarterback. I mean, what
Well,
they
again,
have to do.
how much of a professional do you want to be, though, right? Because
Right.
I'm a big believer. I take it into fantasy. I take it not this year. Last year, I had 3 to 4 teams where I had Jaden Daniels. I had none of them
Right.
this year. I had none of them this year because I'm a firm believer of that second year thing for a quarterback. That once they get tape on you all season long, they have all off season long to watch every single play. And these
Yeah.
guys live football and they're smart enough to be like, oh, I remember last week when he had to roll out and they threw this blitz and
Yeah.
he was confused. And they're like, he did that this week, he did that the prior week. Like, and they can dial in on those things. And then you need to adapt to stuff like that. And I think some of them, I've said this before about Michael Vick. Michael Vick, to me, he still may be the most athletic human I've ever seen. I mean,
Right.
it was unbelievable. I just think when he was in college, he was so much better
Right.
than everybody athletically that it didn't make a difference if he knew the playbook in and out, and he can get away with maybe being half a second late because his arm was just insane, and the safety was a college safety. And then you get to the pros, and now everybody's fast and
Right.
everybody's good,
Right.
and you have to put that work in to study and to become better. So, like, to me, after your rookie season as a quarterback, this is where I need you to come out and look at least the same or grow, because they're going to see some of your weaknesses.
Yeah.
And can you improve on them or can you counter from them? And I know I said it on here. If I was a team right now, I would be dying to get a hold of Mac Jones because I
Right.
can maybe
No, I said-
offer him something along the Sam Darnold contract or less, probably. Maybe 2 or 3 years for $20 million.
It'd be less because Darnold at least did it
Yeah.
in Minnesota for a
Yeah.
year or so.
And if you could get him for
You
20,
get the Darnold Minnesota contract.
you could get, if you could get, but I would want to take a swing for 2 or 3 years. And you know what? And if
Yeah.
it doesn't work, I don't want to say you can eat it, but Denver ate 50 a season.
Yeah.
for-
Tua's contracts will get eaten for about another 50, so it can
That's
be
right.
done.
So if I have to eat or even relegate him to a backup because it really didn't work, now I guess if you get Mac Jones this year and he's completely awful and you're awful, but you got him for 3 years, guess what? You're going to get an early draft pick. So
Right.
draft a guy, Mac Jones slides into your backup role, and you're still probably cheaper than
Yeah. Oh,
Right?
absolutely.
20
Yeah.
in a rookie deal. So I think I would be dying to do it if I was a couple of these teams that I know really needed a quarterback.
Yeah. No. It's interesting. It'll be interesting offseason. I think there's a couple guys like that that are going to be available who've been in the league for a while, got very small chances at the starting quarterback position, and we'll see where they go. But back on Darnold, I just, as far as a Bills fan, I'm not. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy, Buffalo. Be better than that.
And Josh Allen, which I didn't really know this, but I saw it today. Josh Allen's super good friends with Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I know he is.
Right?
They've
I
been
didn't
friendly
realize that. I
every
saw
summer.
a video and they were talking about it, and he's basically like, "Yeah, I'm pulling for Sam. He's one of my best friends," and all of that. So you know what? If Sam wins, maybe some of that experience, and they share it, and it just motivates Josh some more. You
Yeah.
know.
I know. Don't be like
So,
that.
What
Don't
about
be like
all
that.
right? I don't think we ever talked about, and we can do it quick, the Bill Belichick Hall of Fame thing.
Right. Right. And Kraft. You talk about Kraft too. He didn't get in either.
Yeah.
So-
Oh man, I get so to me this is the LeBron and Jordan thing. As soon as I say this, everyone just assumes that I'm saying Bill Belichick sucks and he's the worst. No one's going to convince me he's the best coach of all time. You're not going to do it. He had the best quarterback of all time,
Okay.
and that matters.
It matters. It does matter.
He has to do stuff, right? I'm not saying he's a bum.
Right.
But he has to coach. He has to manage personalities. He's got to put systems in. He's a great coach. He is great. He's great. I'm not saying that. His record without Tom Brady is like 84 and like 104 or something.
Right. And that's a great argument. It's an argument, but it's not an argument to keep him out as a first ballot Hall of Famer. It's not.
Okay,
It's not. It's not.
Okay. No, and I'm not.
Because just go. You can't. All right, I understand that, but we can argue quarterbacks and talent and stuff like that for Bill Walsh and Seifert and all these other guys that are been in the Hall of Fame, and the guy's been to 9 Super Bowls or 9.
Agreed.
It's
He
just
should.
the numbers are just too high. It's not even like, yeah, all right, he did this and that. I get it. But the numbers are too high for him just not to get in. It's just they're just too high. They're gross numbers.
He should have got in. He should be a first ballot. I agree with that.
But I understand if you want to say
he's not the greatest coach of all time.
He's not. Yes, I can understand that.
And
Tomlin's better coach than him.
yeesh.
Come on, he is. Tomlin's had shit. He was good when he won with Roethlisberger.
Oh, I'd
and
have to.
he won with Roethlisberger, and since Roethlisberger left, I get it. They have not won a playoff game.
Yeah,
I get it.
I know,
but he hasn't had anybody at quarterback.
We're
he still wins.
I got a guest for next week or the week after. I got to bring on because we got to talk about this.
I'm right because that's why it's hurting your head.
No, that's tough. That one is tough. He should be in the Hall of Fame. But I will say this, and I was never, I'll be the first to admit, once the Super Bowl is kind of over, I'm out for a little bit.
Yeah, me too.
Like, I was never a huge Spygate or Deflategate guy. Like, to say that I even know all the details, but especially Spygate, I mean, he was cheating, right? Like,
yeah.
I go back and I listen. Like, I heard him talking about it this week. They're like, he's filming other teams' shit, and I'm like, I mean, that's cheating.
That's straight cheating. I know it's straight cheating.
Part of your winning, it's the steroids and stuff that go with it. That asterisk. He won a ton. He was great. The teams are great. It's a dynasty. The second I saw Brady leave, I said, well, we're going to find out something real fast. If Brady goes and looks just completely like dog shit at some other team, then Bill Belichick's the greatest coach of all time. Like, he's a monster. And vice versa. And that's what happened. Brady went to Tampa Bay, and they looked like the Patriots. And this guy's old. This guy's old, and you're like, oh, my God, they look like the Patriots. Quick passes, short, right down the field, efficient, smart decisions. And then all of a sudden, New England looked like a normal team.
Right.
So he
goes to college. He didn't exactly, not that it's the same at all, but he goes to college, and his first year at North Carolina was not exactly stellar.
At the Hall of Fame, the Hall of Fame to me is a snapshot of not just the good that you did, everything that you did for the game, right? That's why there should be like I don't care if you call it the steroids wing, something in baseball because it is a major part of the storyline for a
I
decade,
agree. I
right?
mean,
So
there's
like
a decade that everybody pretty much did it. So you
like
you gotta look at the stats of that decade.
at Belichick's Hall of Fame thing, like I don't know, do they put videos up? I don't really watch it. There should be a mention of Spygate. Like you cheated.
Yeah,
That's part of your legacy.
yeah.
And to be honest,
I agree. And listen, I think that's what voters were like. Listen, this guy,
yeah.
he had a lot of shady time, like too much shadiness for me to vote for him this year.
Again, I think
I'm gonna take a stand here and go. Listen, he's gonna get in, not this year.
yeah,
He deserves a 1 year pass
penalty for
because
what
of
it
all
means.
the shit that he did
Yeah.
between Deflategate, and all this other stuff, all the gates, and the fact that you're right. Maybe once Brady wasn't there, with besides Brady years, he was not that good.
Yeah, I mean, I've said this forever.
But he still sort of got it.
I'm more impressed with what Andy Reid has done in
Yes, he's
his
done it everywhere with
career.
different players.
And again, they're like, he only won with Mahomes. I get it, but every step of the way, I'd have to look.
Well, he was great with McNabb. I mean, he didn't get there. He got 1 year with.
He was great with Vic.
McNabb.
He was great with McNabb, right? He was.
Yeah.
He was really, really, really good with Alex Smith,
Right.
right?
No, I agree. He was
I mean,
right on the cusp every year.
Every place that he's been. I wonder what the worst record. I mean, it's got to be maybe this year, Andy Reid's worst record ever.
Right.
Right.
You might be right. Yeah.
So
You're probably right.
But I have a Patriots buddy, a couple of them that I've had this argument with. I'm gonna have to see if he's gonna come on, right? If he would come on, and then he was pressing me to name all these guys, and I'm like, listen, I would have to. I'm not an expert on 1960 football, right?
Yeah.
I know some of the names of the big coaches, but I guess I would have to really go back and dig into the whole thing and see like the rest of Lombardi's career and
Right.
you know what I mean? Like,
Listen, just tell him he can come on. I'll tell him Tomlin's a better coach, and it's hard for people to hear because everybody hates Tomlin. I get, and I think he's a great coach. I think he's too conservative for this type of football that's going on right now. But I do give him credit. The guy every year somehow gets his team going. They get into the playoffs. Now they suck in the playoffs. I understand that, but when he had a good quarterback, he was dominating. And then even without one,
you can only get over the talent hump so much, right?
yeah.
And that again, that's I keep saying it. That's where I think the Bills are at, right? Like I don't think the Bills are a crazy talented team, and they ride Allen. I think that's what I mean. Pittsburgh, you're right. If you tell me Pittsburgh's playing a team with the same talent,
So they got in the playoffs with Duck Hodges. Remember Duck Hodges or Duck whatever his name was? Duck something.
I'm picking Tomlin every time. If you tell me his talent's the same as another team,
Yeah.
right?
I know. I agree.
Like so from that aspect, yeah, he was always great. I don't think they did him any favors building teams and how much he was part of it, and their play callers maybe he's a little too loyal because their offense is always
their offense is always a little boring.
I don't think Tomlin
he's
adapts. I don't think he adapts all that great, but he must be good at motivating because he can get not good teams to beat.
He can get you 9 wins. I'll tell you that much. I know
That's
that.
right. Yeah. So yeah, the Hall of Fame thing's always an interesting one. I mean, Kraft. I guess it's the same type thing for his.
I guess if you take out, if you could say the same arguments, like, Kraft I can care less about it, but he had some little controversies in his lifetime.
Oh yeah, but I think again the Hall of Fame. You're talking about I mean, it's not always. I mean, it's not always about just pure greatness. I don't think, right? Like their stamp and impact on the game. I mean, you could argue whether that's correct or not. Maybe it should be just about great elite players, right?
Right.
And
well, is Eli a Hall of Famer?
I mean, we might have to take some time and set up an
right.
episode on stuff like
All
this
right, that's
because
fair.
I guess I would have to really go back and look, like, get all the quarterbacks, and
Yeah.
my initial reaction, I feel like, has to be yes, because
Me too. That's well. Usually, I just go off my initial reaction. It's yes. To me, it's yes.
I mean, listen, they want you to win. He's won, right?
He's won.
They
right?
want you to have some longevity. He had plenty of longevity.
Plenty of that.
Um,
And he was MVP of at least one of the Super Bowls. I'm not sure if both.
Yeah.
But I know he was never MVP of a league, but he had longevity. He won the big game twice, and I don't know. I think he'll get there eventually. I think he deserves it. I know we could talk about Hall of Fame and who's still out and stuff like that for a while, but
Yeah, I think I'd have to look deeper because, again, I think the winning. This sounds funny.
because to me, if Breeze is a Hall of Famer, then I think Eli Manning's a Hall of Famer. I don't think Breeze was ever. I don't know the stats in front of me. I don't have the stats in front of me, and I know Breeze was good. I just don't know. Was he that much better than Eli Manning to be a first ballot, and Eli can't get in?
Yeah,
Was he that much better?
I mean, he was really good. But again, listen, it matters when you throw 620 times in a season,
Yeah.
right? Like, again, your numbers get inflated by stuff like
Opportunities.
that, right? So, yeah, we might have to print off some we might have to have a Hall of Fame episode. We know things,
Yeah.
after Super Bowl, things slow a
Yeah,
little.
we'll have
that
time to
would
do some of
that
the
would
other
actually
stuff.
be a lot of fun. That would be a lot of fun
Yeah.
to see. But I know I think they're trying to already tweak the whole.
Well, yeah, because everybody's upset about this, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. I think
Well, I mean, people are allowed their vote. What's the point of having a vote? If you don't want to have votes and you just want to put people in because you feel they're in, don't do a vote. If you're going to have people have votes and have the human aspect into this,
yeah.
then just say, if not, you go, all right, if you get 2 Super Bowl appearances, you're in.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, what are we doing here? You got to have an opinion.
I
and
agree.
let
It
people have
is
an
about
opinion.
opinions, and you know what? This is when all those times. Well, listen, maybe a handful, 2, and it might only take maybe 2 of the people that have a vote were cheated by this guy,
Yeah.
and maybe
they
3
were
of the guys,
part of the Skygate.
maybe 3 of the guys that have a vote were, I don't know if they're media member or what, that he treated like a complete piece of shit.
Oh, I wanted to bring that up a little earlier. I go, he's also an asshole.
That's
I get
right.
it. His post coaching persona came off pretty good. He's this likable guy. Biggest asshole you've ever dealt with. I mean, I'm not a media member, but it's got to be a brutal experience. I mean,
And that's-
just treating you like trash.
Yeah,
That's
and
what he
you're-
does.
Yeah,
He's like,
and
dude, I'm a beat reporter. I know I'm asking the same stupid question. Just give me an answer that's
Yeah.
reasonable, not just this bullshit
We're on-
stuff or you're
we're
just
on the next
moan and
week.
groan.
We're focused on the Colts.
Forward on this, we're doing this. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
he was an asshole.
Yeah, I agree. Because you know what? Those guys are doing their job, and people want to know. There's people listening, and they read the papers and all of that. So,
Right.
again, you can be that way, but don't be surprised then when people don't like you. And then maybe
I was going to bring that up earlier too. The media, it's his actions to the media, and I'm not sure who all gets votes, but I know media members do get it. So yeah, you're right. Between all the people he's probably pissed off or cheated on,
Yeah.
that's all he needed was 10 people. He probably that was pretty easy for him. So
Yeah. And you get there's guys that do it the right way. They lose. I mean, I'll say this. I've the past few years, every season I get more respect, and I like Sean McVay more, right?
yeah,
I like the way he answers questions and the way he handles stuff, and his energy and the way he goes about it, and I respect what he's been able to do. And it's not easy going up there after those losses, but I think
Right.
it can be done, right? It's one of those things that I'd be like, listen, if everybody was a jerk, I'd be like, well, then it's not even
Yeah,
possible. But you watch him, he does it. There's guys that do it. They handle it well, and they it hurts, and you could tell they're emotional and they're angry and all that, but they handle it and they do what they got to do. So
Right.
it can be done. And when you don't want to do it, then there's consequences for it.
Right. I agree. I
Well,
agree with that.
One more thing. Remember when we were younger and we used to have parties and I would have the drinking glove?
Yes.
Remember the
Oh, yeah.
green Rolling Rock drinking glove?
Yeah, the wrong.
Well, a few weeks ago, somehow I lost one of my Seahawks gloves.
Uh-oh.
And I was like, man,
Did
this
it bring it
thing's
out?
got no point. I'm like, but now it's going to be the drinking glove. So
I
for
like
the
it.
Super Bowl, I got my one glove. One glove. I'm going to be wearing the drinking glove.
All right.
during
You
the
should
game.
drink a glove, bring out the swear bag.
Oh, the
Get it
swear
all out.
bag. I listen. If this game's tight, the swear bag might come out.
Swear
Yeah,
bag
it's
is
a-
awesome.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh man, the drinking glove. I love it. I'm driving to work and I'm like, what am I one glove? And then I'm like, dude, it's the drinking
There it is.
glove, right? And I was like,
There you go.
oh, I've just been sitting in there. I was waiting. I'm like, I can't wait. So, super excited for it. All right, give me an official score prediction.
All right, I can do that. I think it's going to be 31-17.
31-17. All right. I am going to go 24 13.
All right.
24-13. I'm just not sure the Patriots are going to be able to score two touchdowns out of that. That makes me worry. Do you think you coach a little different now do you play for field goals a little bit? If it's 4th and 4, are you really
I mean, I feel teams have really disrespected the field goals,
Yeah.
taking points. I think Denver really royally screwed themselves in that game.
Yeah.
I get it. Let's be aggressive. Let's go. There is a time and place and the way the game is going
Points.
that you go, fucking 3 points is huge here. We got to get points. I feel like the field goals are like people just look at them with disdain, and they're
I
like,
know.
I don't want to take these field goals. And I'm like, in certain games, you're like, man, this is a tight defensive game. 3 points is huge. I get a touchdown's awesome, but 3 points here is 3 points. It's
Points are
huge.
points. I feel like there's times where it's like 3rd and 6 from the 13, right? And
Yeah.
there's a part of me that's almost like,
You don't want them to get like four yards because you're like they're gonna go for
or
it.
two.
You're like,
I don't even want like
Yeah.
4th and 4. I'm like, oh gee. Again, if it's a 57 yarder, you're like, oh,
yeah, it's totally different.
dude. When you're looking
Yeah.
at 26 yarders, 27, and they just roll right out on 4th and 4, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I agree with you.
And again,
There's been a couple
there's
games
times,
this year.
there's times I sit here and I'm like, field goals aren't going to get it done, but sometimes they do, and they certainly matter. Like you can't, like you get 5 red zones, you don't want 5 field goals,
No.
but
But-
two or 3.
But you also don't want 3 times that you're down there and not getting
Get
hit.
nothing.
So
Yeah,
there was a game against the Eagles played earlier where they just kept going for it, or the Lions kept going for it in that game, and
Yeah.
I'm like, the game is it's a 1-score game, or it's in
and you're killing them.
and the weather, and I was like, what are we doing? Kick a goddamn field goal.
I know.
And then Denver, that game was it was a dogfight. I mean, there was no one going anywhere, no offense at all. Take the points, and they didn't want to do it. So I do feel like teams at some point feel they get a little too aggressive. They hate the field goal. I'm with you. I do think in
curious to
these
see-
games,
I'm curious to see in the Super Bowl if that changes.
yeah.
I'm curious
It'll be
to see in
interesting.
the Super Bowl. I wonder in the last 5.
Now I think Seattle can afford to kick field goals a little bit more than New England, but we'll see.
Yep.
It all depends on the style of game. You know, if it's first quarter and you got like a 3-0 game, maybe then you start kicking more field goals. If it's touchdowns, and then that kind of stuff goes away.
I wonder in the last 10 years how many field goal attempts in a Super Bowl there have versus regular season games, or maybe even regular season and playoff games, right?
Right.
I could see them being a little less aggressive in the Super Bowl and wanting those 3 points.
Right.
But
I agree.
we'll see.
I
It
agree.
will it'll be interesting for sure. So all right, we both got Seahawks. Hopefully the next time we jump on, we're celebrating. I'm playing some
Yep.
poker tonight. You got poker tonight, right?
Right.
All
Yep.
right, got some poker tonight. I'm hoping I can win some money tonight, get a Seahawks Super Bowl, and finish out the weekend on an awesome note. So,
All right, man. I'm rooting for you.
thanks, man. Thanks. All our listeners, we appreciate you. We are on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. So we appreciate the listeners. Give us a like, give us a share, and until next time, go Seahawks.
Right. It could be a real somber episode next time if something goes wrong here.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh boy. Let's not say that. I'm confident. I'm comfortable. We're getting the win. It's gonna be a great day.
All right, man.
All right. See you, bud.
See ya.
Oh.
Hit the mics, take a seat, it's about to ignite. Two dudes with the spread, keep your bets locked tight. Sports talk sharp like a razor blade edge. Numbers don't lie, no need for a hedge. Welcome to the greatest fucking show on earth. From the pitch to the court where legends birth. Plays and parlays, every wager's worth. Sit back, tune in, ride the wave of mirth. Game clock's ticking, we